All right, my name is Peter Maximo, here with Alex Nichols, with Scott Running, who Scott Sports just became a steep and rocky member of the American Trail Running Association. So we are doing a little segment with Alex here, who is sponsored by Scott.
Yep. Yeah, basically trying to get ready for Western States.
You qualified at the Black Canyon 100K, and we spoke to you since then, but yeah, tell us the story about what happened.
Yeah, so ran Black Canyon 100K to get the golden ticket, won that race. It was an exciting race, lots of lead changes and things like that. Really, really difficult race. So then basically the plan was use the rest of the time to get ready for Western States 100. That's June 24th,
Okay.
I think.
So less than 2 months,
Yeah, definitely.
about 6 weeks.
Yeah. So that's kind of the problem arose when I took like 2 weeks of really easy after Black Canyon, started running again, and then ended up with some pretty severe pain in the very side of my foot. Let's see if we can get this on camera.
Okay.
Right there.
All right. And no explanation as to what it was?
Uh,
What it is?
a lot of different thoughts from different people. Eventually I had an x-ray. People thought maybe I had torn the perennial brevis tendon off of the fifth metatarsal because it hurts right at the tuberosity of the fifth metatarsal.
Ooh, very technical.
Yeah, basically the big ball on the side of your foot. But that came up negative in the x-ray, so it's probably something like a bone bruise and then an irritation of that tendon and the attachment.
Oh, much the loss.
Yeah.
So, how did you get back to running? If it was bothering you wearing shoes.
Yeah, really painful, pretty much wearing anything.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm more of a 4-foot striker, and so every time I'd land, I would land right on that spot, and it was just really painful.
So how did you start running again?
Well, I'd basically decided, like, if I couldn't run by May 1st, then I wouldn't do Western States, and kind of like just in time, my body decided that it could maybe start running again.
And I think we should say that it's
Cinco de Mayo!
Cinco de Mayo, so it's the 5th of May, so we're coming up quick on Western States.
Yeah, so, yeah, now it's basically, I'd say I'm like 85% healthy and maybe like 45% fit.
Okay.
I got pretty out of shape during that time. I tried biking, got hit by a car in Garden of the Gods.
Yeah, tell us
It's
about
actually
that.
right behind us.
Yeah, so Garden of the Gods is in the distance. I should say we're in beautiful Manitou Springs, up at La Piscina, the pool house.
Yeah.
So what happened there?
I probably shouldn't have been riding in the garden on a weekend. It's
Mhm.
always a really busy place, but they have a nice bike lane and some hills and everything, and just trying to do what I could to stay in a little bit of shape. And basically someone just didn't see me. I was coming up behind them, and then they turned into a parking spot without signaling kind of rapidly, and then I slammed into the front right corner of the car and kind of went over their hood and onto the ground.
Okay, nothing broken, no.
No, I got really bruised up on my left side, but
Okay.
generally okay.
Okay.
Handlebars got crunched, but so that kind of set another like step back in trying to get back into shape.
Right.
Because like all of a sudden I didn't have a bike to ride. So
Right.
yeah.
So you've done some modification with your shoes.
Yeah.
And I will mention that in this month's Trail Runner magazine with our friend Joe Gray on the cover,
Yeah, Joe.
who's a local guy as well. This is the gear review section. I don't think you've seen this yet. It's hot off the presses. Scott Supertrack RC, which is the shoe you run in,
Yeah.
was just named Editor's Choice Award. So some good things coming out of Scott Sports. And show us what you've done with your...
Yeah, so kind of on May 1st, that make or break day, I decided to do some more modification to my shoes,
Okay.
which here we have it's the road version of the Supertrack, lightweight, but it's in the RC, so race concept category of their shoes.
Bumblebee colors.
Yeah, black and yellow.
Hashtag.
Yeah. But yeah, basically, like, I cut chunk out of the insole to kind of relieve some of that pressure on the outside of my foot, and then straight through the side here, and that has made like a huge difference. Maybe it's like allowed my foot to heal a little bit more. I don't really know, but it's working. So
Okay.
yeah, so I'm kind of like, I'm on the 6 weeks to 100-mile training plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's there'll be a book out soon.
Yeah.
About that.
Yep.
So 6 weeks to go. What's the plan?
So I kind of like sat down with my training log here.
Oh, that's cute.
Yep.
What cats teach us.
Yeah. You never know what they can teach you, but it's gonna be
Teach
good.
you to get ready for Western States in 6 weeks.
So this is the May featured cat in the grass. It's nice. Anyway, so basically we're currently in this week,
Yep.
which
Today is
Cinco de Mayo. I'm hopefully gonna get 40 miles this week,
okay.
which is a great start. I was at 0 for probably a month and a half.
Okay.
And then we basically have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a 7th week, Western States on the 24th. So, briefly sketching it out, I'm hoping to, in the coming 6 weeks, get up to hopefully like 120 miles a week, and then have 1 taper week.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wouldn't really recommend this for everybody, but but it actually has worked pretty well for me in the past, that
Okay.
I seem to be able to come back really quickly from
Okay.
injury. If I have about 6 weeks, a lot can change.
Okay. So it's basically 5 weeks of training, week of taper,
6 weeks training,
6 weeks of training.
1
Okay.
week taper.
Okay.
Yeah.
And American Trail Running Association will be out there. My colleague Richard Bolt and myself will be covering the race, so we'll be also crewing for you.
Yeah.
So we're hoping for big things. And if you're not a member, become a member of the American Trail Running Association, and you might be getting some Run Clean soap, handmade here in Colorado for the American Trail Running Association. So any last thoughts?
Yeah. I guess so. Just stay tuned. This is going to be kind of an interesting experience, or experiment, to see if I can really, have a decent race off 6 weeks of training for this long. A race is going to be something never really done before. And hopefully we can check in every couple of weeks to see how things are going. Hopefully nothing else crops up in the meantime,
Yeah.
in terms of injury, because this is going to be a little bit of a risky training plan.
Yeah.
So
So stay tuned. We'll follow along as Alex Nichols prepares for Western States 100. And stay tuned.